If you saw my previous video, or if you've beaten him yourself, you'd know that when you beat the Skull Knight down to roughly 75%ish of his HP, he disappears. If you're anything like me, you immediately thought it was going to be a progressive boss fight. However, it can be difficult to find him again. As such, here are my efforts to track him down. If you have any additional locations you think that he spawns in, let me know in the comments below so I can check it out. First, I discovered him between these two camps approximately here. This is where I beat him the first time, and I absolutely was not expecting him to be there. If you want more information on how to beat him in one of these fights, make sure to check my short guide on that in the link in the description. Came back after a few in-game weeks and discovered this strange looking altar thing. I cleared it out and found that the Skull Knight started spawning on the path back down the hill. For some reason though, he didn't seem to spawn until I murdered this one poor patrolling fellow though. That made this fight a lot more annoying as there was a lot less space to clear the battle in, but once again at 75%ish health he took off. Next, I tried going down the hill into the spire center. The problem here is that without any cold resistance, you start taking constant damage down here. As such, I spent an hour going around and collecting the full Skull Knight armor set, known as the Frostcursed armor set. I'll go ahead and have a short video on that, on where to find each piece later that I will link below. Make sure to subscribe so you can see when that comes out. With my newfound cold resistance, I delved back into that circular valley that houses the spire. Unfortunately, at this point, the game had received an update which caused my graphics driver to suddenly time out whenever I went near the tower and tried to open the map. This caused some chaos that may have potentially messed some things up, I'm not 100% sure. First, I went down the left side gliding in. I popped one or two ghosts and then was tossed immediately into a fight with the Skull Knight, having found him rather rapidly. This fight also went fairly poorly. However, due to an abundance of food and my new fancy armor that made me far more resistant to his attacks than before, I still managed to beat him down to 75%, where he promptly ran away again. I traversed around the spire, killed some more floaty boys, and encountered him again near the other path down. Here he had floaty boys helping him out, making this a much more annoying fight. However, that armor and a huge food supply saved me once again, and he disappeared at that 75% HP mark. Again. I did see some folks mentioning in the comments in my last video that they managed to get him down to 50% total HP, but I've not seen that in any of my 4 fights with him so far. I did manage to knock him over in this fight though. I'm not exactly sure what I did, but it might have something to do with hitting him hard enough as he wound up for a swing. I'm not completely sure there. If someone figures it out, let me know in the comments. So after spending a few hours hunting around, fighting him, and collecting the armor and looking for him some more, I'm currently concluding that this is meant to be a short scripted encounter where he shows up to harass you and you beat him by fulfilling the quest. I think he spawns on both sides as there's 2 different main entrances to the spire. That way they make sure you try at least get him once. But again, you could skip the whole thing by just gliding into the spire in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and hold off on completing it for a bit to try any more areas that seem plausible that come up, but that is my current theory. I did also find a teleporter spot down here, so make sure to snag that too if you're also running around looking for him. It should save you some time. In the meantime, I've constructed a map here with a rough location of each spot I ran into the Skull Knight. If anyone has any additional locations they ran into him at, let me know and I'll go take a look and see if we can add it to the map. Have any extra questions about Crimson Desert? Make sure to ask them below and I'll answer them as quickly as I can.